What's up everyone? The final four head of household has been revealed and so have their nominations. It is down to the wire now folks, as we are about to crown the winner of Big Brother 23. We've got so much to talk about folks, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright folks, now right before we get started, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We are so close to the goal of 10,000 subscribers, which is just, it's crazy to me. And the support y'all have shown over the past week, especially subscribing and liking, has just been remarkable. So thank you. But folks, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit it already. And the like button is something that does wonders. It really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. So if y'all could hit the like button, that would just be doing me a massive favour. So folks, like button and subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks folks. Okay folks, I'm going to take a quick moment just to talk about last night's double eviction episode, which went on a long time I must say, and we obviously lost Tiffany and Hannah. What a shame folks. I mean, Hannah and Tiffany brought the game this season. As much as I think Hannah's fantastic, I'm gonna highlight Tiffany here, because whilst I know a lot of people have gone off Tiffany, I know she's got a huge fan base, but equally I know people aren't as a fan of her. One thing's for sure, she played hard this summer, and you know, this game of Big Brother that we all know and love, let's be honest, over the past few years, it's kind of been lacking slightly. We get the occasional person who comes along and shows us strategy extraordinaire, someone like Tyler from BB20 in the midst of everything. And Tiffany brought the game. She refreshed the game this season, and she played hard. You know, whilst she was working on the cookout mission the whole time, she was working strategy with every single side of the house, and she was manipulating the votes and getting people to do what she wanted them to do. So for me, I just feel like we've got to take a moment to say thank you, Tiffany, for refreshing the game of Big Brother, and I really hope we do see her again in the future for another shot at the money, because I just think she deserved to be in that final two. But listen, I'm a strong believer in if you win the game, you deserve to win, and if you get to the end, you deserve to get to the end. It's simple as that. So let's hope, well, at least I hope Tiffany can come back in the future. But thank you, Tiffany, for refreshing the game of Big Brother. Okay folks, so let's jump into who won the Head of Household competition. Of course, this is a crucial time in the Final Four, and I might as well congratulate Arza on winning her HoH as well, since I won't get another opportunity to do that. So massive congratulations to Arza for winning HoH last night. But folks, the Final Four Head of Household it's Xavier. Congratulations, Xavier. He is safe until the final three, that's big. You're there on finale night, so X will be our first person 100% there on finale night. And he has decided to nominate, yeah, we've got the nominations already, he has decided to nominate Kyland and Arza for eviction, leaving Big D off the block. Big D is the only person who is not on the block that is not the head of household, so there you go folks. I think it's looking more and more apparent now that we are going to see at least Big D or Arza in the final two, if not both of them, should something crazy happen, in which it's a final three of Big D, Arza and X, or Big D, Arza and Kyland, and then, you know, something could happen. Well, actually, Big D, Arza and Kyland can't even happen because X is going to be there. So if it's Big D, Arza and X in the final three, if Big D or Arza wins Head of Household, then decides to evict Xavier, then that's going to be the final two that I know a lot of people are very fearful of and very scared of. And I went on my live video last night, y'all folks, if you were there, you will have seen we were talking about should Arza or Big D win, should it get down to the final two of them. So I would like to actually throw that to y'all today. That's going to be the question of the day. If it is a final two of Big D and Arza, who would you like to see win the game? Or more so, I guess you can split it into two. Who would you like to see win the game versus who do you think deserves to win the game out of Big D and Arza? For me, I can't answer that yet, because it would be whoever cuts X would deserve to win it. Nobody's done anything big enough. I would say at this point it's Arza, because she's won Head of Household and Big D hasn't. And Big D has contributed to less strategy than Arza, I would say. But equally, if Big D was the person to cut X, I would say he would edge it. There really isn't much in it with Big D and Arza, but I'd love to know what everybody thinks in regards to that. But folks, yes, Xavier is Head of Household, meaning he is safe till the final three. So huge congratulations to him, and Kyland and Arza are on the block. Very quickly after the nominations had been made, Big D and Kyland began to study the days. Of course, this is something that is huge when it gets down to this point in Big Brother. You know, your chance at the $750,000 is often very, it comes down to remembering days. Simple as that. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it there. If you are stupid enough and dumb enough to not study the days whilst you're in the Big Brother house, listen, you've got nothing else to do. You do a competition every couple of days, and there's so much downtime where you just talk, and spend that time, study it. Think about, I don't know, when you go to college or university or anything like that, or you're just in school or even work, right? even in the real world where we're all busy, busy, busy the whole time, we still find time, or try to find time, to revise and do all the studying. If you're in the house where you are you've got the summer off, you are doing competitions every couple of days, and you've got so much downtime, if you are stupid enough not to study the days and not to try and revise those days, then you don't deserve to win the money, in my opinion. I said this last year. I remember when some people were studying days. I believe it was Cody and Nicole, when it got down to the wire, who were actually studying days, and Enzo did nothing. I was rooting for Enzo to win the game on a personal level, but on a game level, Enzo did not deserve to win, which is why he didn't. Enzo wasn't studying days, I believe, off the top of my head, and if you're stupid enough to not do that, then you're stupid enough to not win the game, in my opinion. I don't care if you've got a personal favourite or whatever, because I did. Enzo was my favourite in the final three. That was Janelle and Case were my favourites before that. But when it got down to the final three, I was rooting for Enzo. But the fact he didn't study the days annoyed me. And pardon me, folks. Sorry, bit of a rough throat there. And I'll get there eventually, folks. But if you don't study the days, moral of the story is I don't think you deserve to win the game, because when there's people actually trying and hustling to remember the days, then it's only fair to say the people who tried harder do deserve to win it. And I think the jury will respect that. But Big D has surprised me as one of the people who study the days, because he's been quite a, I don't want to say delusional, but kind of delusional house guest, and a bit somebody who thinks he's going to get the game handed to him on a silver platter because he thinks he's been this Big Brother mastermind. He thinks he can beat X in the final two. I think he said that, I think maybe last week or the week before. So... But I think Big D will get carried to the final two. I don't think he necessarily needs to remember the days, but at least respect to him for doing that. Kyland is someone who is now in a position in which he needs to study the days, because he could end up going, listen, and I will say this as well. Big D, if he is the person off the block at the end of the week, if he doesn't evict Kyland, then he is stupid as hell. I don't even care what anyone says. It doesn't matter what deals you've made, and it's stupid. If Big D goes into the final three with X and Kyland thinking that he has a chance, the guy is just on another planet. Like that's how it is. Listen, I said last night, if they don't take the opportunity to get out Xavier last night, then Xavier deserves to win the game, and I stand by that, right? Because that was so stupid to me. In old school Big Brother, we would never have seen something like that. If he was on the block, you send him out the door. Don't wait around. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me, folks. It really doesn't. Remember when Danielle Reyes was in the final six and she was on the block? Guess what they did? They sent her out the door. It was just, that's what you do. You take out the big threat. You've got the opportunity, send them out the damn door. And they didn't do that with X. It was stupid, and he's going to win the game. I strongly believe X will win the game now. But this week, Arza versus Kyland, if it's them on the block at the end of the week, Big D can't be stupid enough to not send Kyland out. He needs to do it. He needs to do it. I was even saying last night, excuse my language here, folks, but I did say last night, the only what the bleep will be what the is if they don't send X out the door, because it's so stupid and it's dumb gameplay, and X does deserve to win the game if they don't send him out. So, and I stand by that, folks. Take out the big threat when you've got the chance. I've also got to take a moment to say that Kyland was stupid as hell to use the veto on X. Yes, he made a deal, but why would you honour a deal at this point? Listen, there's a $750,000 on the line. He could have sent X out the door last night, and the fact that X has literally put him on the block after he used the veto on him, he's stupid. Kyland is stupid. I don't get it. Like, why would you send Hannah out the door when X is still in the game? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I'm not getting like riled up right now, but it's just dumb gameplay. I don't get it. Like, Kyland deserves to leave the house now at the fact that he used the veto on X, and then X was like, I'm going to put you up on the block. Are you dumb enough to let that happen? Yes, you are, Kyland, because it happened. I find it frustrating, if anything. And I'm sure as Big Brother fans, y'all are probably thinking the same as me. I know a lot of us are on the same wavelength and thinking, it's just stupid to honour something like that. Yes, there's some maybe where you get halfway down the game or the first half of the game, you honour deals because it's going to help you for the end game. But the end game is the point where you become cutthroat, not where you take the biggest competitor in the house to the final four for them to put you on the block when you could literally take them out. You have a clean opportunity right there to take them out. He didn't even have to get the blood in his hands. It would have been a 1-1 vote. Arza would have broken the tie and sent X out the door. Arza would have got all the blood in her hands. Even if Arza had sent out Hannah, she would have lost a jury vote there, because she had basically told Hannah, I'm going to break the tie on you. Kyland is stupid gameplay. I'm not having a go at his personal character, but his gameplay was stupid, stupid. And I stand by what I said, folks. I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. The fact that they didn't take out X deserves to win the game now. Arza and Big D were talking about the veto, and Big D said to Arza he doesn't know what he's going to do if he wins the veto, and he was apologising to her and saying sorry for being a bad friend. Man, this wouldn't happen in old school Big Brother. I'm sorry. Listen, right, it's the final four. Why would Big D use the veto on Arza? He would go up on the block automatically if that happened. It's just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me because yes, the veto holder can't be nominated in normal terms, but when it's the final four, and my dog is barking now, I don't know why, folks. If it's the final four, then Big D has to go up by default. So I just, why would he use the veto on Arza? It's stupid. Doesn't make sense. He doesn't need to apologise. Play the game, folks. I need to emphasise that once more. Play the game. Everyone in the house, play the game. Arza and X also went on to study in the days, or more so quizzing one another, which was kind of cool. I find it interesting how X can still keep Arza in his pocket after he has nominated her, and literally is finding time to quiz each other and help each other with the comps. Bollocks to that, folks. I'm sorry. Listen, Arza needs to go speak to Big D or Kyland and quiz each other on that one, because don't quiz the person who's put you up on the block. Like, you're helping the person out who's probably going to discard the power of veto and then send you out the door. There's a lot of questionable gameplay going on, but what else did we expect with Big D and Arza in the final four? And Kyland for that matter, because I have been talking about Kyland's gameplay, has been very, very questionable. It really, really stands behind my point again that X deserves to win the game now. Well, he hasn't been my pick to win at all. He does deserve to win the game at this point because people are playing so stupid that it would be kind of offensive for one of them to win when X is actually playing better than all of them probably put together. Stand by what I said, folks. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Please let me know your thoughts on this week in the comment section below. We are sad to see Tiffany go. We are sad to see Hannah go. We are happy to see Arza win HoH and then lose HoH for X to win HoH. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below, folks. Who would you like to see targeted this week, and who would you like to see actually leave the door? And who would you like to see win the power of veto? There's just so much to talk about, folks. We're getting down to the wire now. It's the final four, so let me know your thoughts, folks, in the comment section below. But folks, I say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive and staying healthy out there, and be kind to one another. Okay, folks, but in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.